MusicLikeSocial.com. We back in the building, back here in Atlanta. You know, we bring all the hottest artists, entrepreneurs, you know, to the set. I'm one of your hosts, Raheem.
Raphael.
General Mill Salute.
And tonight we have how can I say, a trailblazer, I should say, in
right.
cigar industry, entrepreneur, rising star here in Atlanta.
Curator.
Octavia from HERficionado. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Cool. Before we get started, you know, tell people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my brand is HERficionado. Started that about 2016, just from a love of cigars. Been smoking for a while, and I just really thought that I had something special that I could bring to that community. So right now, I curate, facilitate all things cigars, pretty much.
Okay.
I had a question, being that, you know, of course with, you know, like, you know, of course with the cigar industry, it's like basically male dominated.
Yeah.
Sometimes white male dominated, then
Yes.
like black man, but then like you could be like just, you know, Raheem said, like a trailblazer, because
Yeah.
when you told me about you, I said, what? Oh, she's black and female. I guess being that we got
Yeah.
about to have a female black president, vice president.
Mm-hmm.
How does that, like, you know, resonate with you?
Put an extra little piece of fire up under the motivation.
You know, I just feel like Black women are definitely kicking down doors right now, and then also just women in general, and that is just something that I've always kind of represented. I've always been a woman's woman, and cigars is kind of something that I started to enjoy on accident. I got introduced to it really on accident, and like I said, I smoked for probably 10 years before I even decided to do anything with it.
Oh,
you know what I
wow.
mean? So I was really just smoking by myself. I was young at the time. So I'm, you know, at my pool or at the club in a section smoking. They're like, who is this little girl with this cigar? Like, what is going on?
Cigar,
Yeah, you know, and so so for me, it was important that like I said, that I do something as a woman, as a Black woman, to bring something fresh, to bring something new to that space that is male dominated. So it's been good. It's been a good journey so far.
So how has that reception been, being that you are a female and that you are Black and it is a male-dominated industry? Has it been like a warm reception where people just like open arms, like, oh yeah, you know?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the majority of the response has been just completely amazing and really positive. Women are like, go girl, yes, we're women, we're here. You know, I have a very, very small amount of people who just don't get it. They don't get that it's 2020, that a woman can be in this space and doing things that a lot of men have yet to even do, especially in the event space. I'm doing things that are far greater than a lot of men even in the space are doing. And so obviously you're always going to have those naysayers that want to keep things traditional, so to say, and they want to keep that old boys club. But you know,
Haters.
yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, I've learned to just not really focus on that and to just, you know, rock with who rocks with me, you know. So I'm very grateful for that.
So with that, do you have any other females like yourself, you know, trying to come up or do similar things, or then communities, or you know, groups, or anybody that you know or seen while you coming up?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that when I first started, I didn't see as many. I'll say that. Since I kind of started to do my thing, and even just being a woman's cigar smoker, I'm also very feminine. I'm always in high heels. I'm always so it separates me even that much more. I'm a little bit younger than a lot of the other ladies. Much higher than, of course, but I'm a little bit younger. And so I think that a certain demographic sees that and says, oh, well, if she can do that, then I can maybe do that too. So I've definitely seen an influx after I kind of started. And that, I mean, you know, that makes me happy, you know, and I'm always, and I love to see it, you know, love to see it.
Because you don't go into something new, you know, that they don't really know. And, you know, like you said, females, even guys don't even. A I don't smoke cigars.
Sure.
You know,
Right.
a lot
Right.
of people are not just smoking cigars in general.
Right.
So
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's another level. So yeah, you definitely bringing exposure there,
Yeah.
making it feel comfortable. For
And that
lovely
and
ladies
that's the
to
thing.
do
It's
it,
it's really
you know.
just about creating an easy gateway. Cigars can be something that comes across as very intimidating. The community itself can tend to be a bit. This is something exclusive. We don't want new people coming in
Yeah.
trying to do this
Right.
and trying to do that.
Right.
But it's, in my opinion, it's a culture. It's a cigar culture, and in my opinion, all culture is meant to be shared and spread. Culture is not meant to be hoarded into a very
Yeah.
small group of just the four of us.
Right.
We're supposed to be telling everybody about this
Right,
thing that we
right,
have,
right,
because
yeah.
if you love it, then you want to see it grow. You want to see
Right,
it spread. So
Yeah, because that, like, parts of what you were talking about cigars, like, it started getting into it recently, because my cousin gave me a cigar kit for my birthday.
okay.
Not my birthday, yeah, my birthday. And just smoking, I'm like, dang, this is,
Yeah.
I don't even smoke cigarettes.
Like,
Yeah.
we started to smoke cigars like every Sunday or something.
Yeah,
right?
so
Nice.
tradition was like,
Right.
have my
Drinking
bourbon.
a cigar.
That's what we
Right.
found about, we
Yeah,
went to the
see,
bourbon ball.
So
found
yeah,
out
going
cigar.
into that
Yeah.
with the drink. So tell
Yeah.
us about how to blend and the
Yeah.
drink. You know,
How to
smoking
pair,
and
you know.
Yeah.
pair and mix match with the cigar, with the flavors
Yeah.
and the drinks, and how does that work?
Well, I mean, people definitely, pairing is definitely something that is pretty prevalent in the community. And it's pretty much, you're just pairing the strength of your cigar and your spirit, different flavors, different notes.
Okay.
And one pretty much enhances the other, which is why people who are smoking cigars would typically smoke a lot of whiskeys, whether that's a bourbon, a scotch, something like that.
No martinis,
Strawberry martini.
I've seen it too. It's
Sugar on top,
chocolate and
ram.
peanut butter martini.
Yeah.
With a cigar, like nah.
But
that's not-
listen, but the funny thing about it, the funny thing about it, right, is that, so like even with myself, right, like when I was learning about cigars, like I said, I wasn't out in the community. Like I was for a little while, I didn't really feel comfortable. So I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna smoke wherever I want to smoke. So like I said, I'm in these clubs, I'm at my pool. So I didn't know anything about the pairing or anything like that. So I was drinking my martinis and different things like that. It wasn't until I actually started to do events myself.
Okay.
And, I had these sponsors that would come in and they would be dark liquors. So they would be
Right.
the whiskeys, they would be the cognacs and things like
Right.
that. And so once I started to pair them, I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
so
you
now I
figure
get
out how
it. You know
it's
what I
going,
mean?
right, how it works.
And so when people are learning, I mean, I definitely don't judge anyone for what they're drinking per se, just because I know that you have to start somewhere.
Right.
But so for anyone starting out, if you're not like a whiskey drinker, and you're like, okay, I don't want a whiskey neat because that's just too much for me.
Right.
I'd say just start with start with a sidecar, start with an old fashioned, because I think that's
Yeah.
something that can just kind of ease you into that, a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's like,
I have my crown and my cigar.
Right.
absolutely, yeah.
So that way-
Because you definitely want to experience it the traditional way,
Yeah.
for sure.
This is a different type of.
Absolutely.
balance with that
Yeah.
flavor.
Flavors
So
and things.
what's your goal? What's like your ultimate vision or whatnot for, because
Your brand.
for
Yeah.
your brand.
It's actually funny because I feel like when I first started, I really didn't have a goal. But I knew that I really just wanted to empower women. Like I knew that honestly my page, like my Instagram page, which is kind of where it started, and I didn't have a plan for it. I was like, oh, let me just start putting some cigars on the page. And my page wasn't even about me. Like I literally didn't even post myself for the first, I don't know how long, because it wasn't about me. So I would literally find girls that were on Instagram that were smoking cigars. I would post
actually,
them.
I did see you. I was on your page.
Yeah, and that's
a good
and that's literally how it started. So
Yeah,
it was more
I
of
did
like a
see that.
feature page. I wanted to just kind of start something with other women.
Ladies for
Okay.
cigars.
Yeah,
That's
and,
dope. Yep.
And so for me, if I were to have a goal for HERficionado, it's really just to kind of provide a larger platform for other women to be able to come in and do whatever they want, whether they're going to do events, whether they're going to have products, a clothing line, whatever the case, a cigar themselves. There's lots of women now that are making their own cigars.
wow.
So it's just
Okay.
kind of like providing a platform, and then also just kind of like opening more doors. Like if I come in and I do certain things, that makes it easier for the next person to come and do the same thing.
Okay.
And as one of the forerunners in that community, it's my responsibility to do that, you know?
Okay.
So.
Especially for our sisters, elevate on another, it's just, it's in general, even though the women are starting to smoke cigars more, but it's just always been like a classy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke a cigar. It was a
Yeah.
different type of person smoking a cigar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just wasn't a regular dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now, being that we are Music Life Social,
Yes.
like the music part, like when you have your cigar and your spirit of choice, what's your go-to music that you like to listen to?
That's right.
So here's the
That's a
thing.
good question.
And maybe this is where the 30-something in me comes into play. I'm not a 65-year-old white guy, right?
Right.
Exactly.
So
Listen to Frank Sinatra.
you know what I mean? So with me, honestly, granted, I love jazz. Like I love jazz. I actually have a jazz event that I'm doing, just because I just love the genre, and 9 times out of 10, that's what I'm listening to. But I also like trap music.
Okay.
So
Gucci.
you know what I like trap music. I like R&B. So it's like So one thing about like the events that I do, and I think that that's actually one of the things that made them a little bit different when I first started, is that you go to one of my events, it's not some laid back
Violin.
it's not that we're really in there partying
Okay.
you know what I mean, and having a good time. And so for me, it's like I can be either on this or I can be on that. It just depends on what mood I'm in that night.
That's my thing. Like I be having. Telling my age, like I be bumping my 90s joint where I have like Buster, like some block, like it'd be some
Catalog.
catalog,
Right.
smoking
Yeah.
In the crates and
Yeah.
shit.
So I get what you're saying.
Okay.
It's a mood, it's a vibe, you know.
So where can everybody reach you and reach out to you, find out what you're doing, what's your next move, or get inspired and learn about cigars.
And for people who don't know how to smoke or whatever, you
Yeah.
say they need tips,
Right.
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can find me on all social media at HERficionado. That's
And can you spell that out? Yes,
Sure.
yes, please.
For the ones that
HER
don't know how to speak.
HERficionado. That's HERficionado. Yeah. Yeah. And Atlanta Cigar Week as well. That's awesome.
Okay.
Check that out.
One thing I hate is because I always have to say this, I always tease and bring this up, but it's true. When you out at a bar and someone has a cheap cigar and you just smell it,
That's his pet peeve.
that's like my pet peeve. I mean, and I just want to know, as an aficionado, does that bother you? I mean, just when you smell, the fact that you deal with that industry, does that bother you? Does that damn, why?
It actually doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me simply because I just know that they don't know any better. You know what I mean? Either they don't know any better,
Or they trying too hard to be cool.
I mean, that could be it. Honestly, when I see someone, listen. When I think someone's trying too hard when they're smoking a cigar backward, when they're smoking and they're smoking the paper band, that's when I feel like they're trying too hard.
Okay.
If you're just smoking a cheap cigar, I mean, you just don't know. You probably don't have a very developed palate. So you really don't know. You kind of just probably just pick something up and you just kind of
So on that note, what do you recommend any cigar, or can you recommend a cigar or something that I don't know the brands and how it works or what level or grains or flavors, but is there anything you could recommend for people that would want to try to smoke a good quality cigar?
Yeah. Well, in the spirit of no free promo, if anyone wants me to recommend a cigar, you can definitely DM me.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
tend to not promote brands that are not,
Nice.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
I my honest opinion. But you know, at the end of the day, I think that that's also something that people have to understand when you are building something, that you can't give away all your juice
Secrets.
for free.
Gotcha.
You
That's true.
can't do it.
And then somebody pop up like you
Yeah.
saying they know more than you.
You know,
Right,
I mean,
that's
so
true.
so you
Got it
know,
from you.
Right.
so yeah.
Okay.
That's my
Please.
answer.
For y'all, please DM her. For me, DM her because
Yes.
Damn, I get tired smelling like the 75-cent King Edwards from Quick Trip. You trying to be cool?
I'm happy to share
one
in my
one
DM.
more time. Give people your
Yes.
contact or your contact
Yes.
info so they can reach out.
HERficionado, HERficionado.
Aficionado.
Yes.
We appreciate having you.
Thank you. I
and
appreciate
for the
being
knowledge. For the knowledge.
Thank you.
And please check out, support her.
black
No.
women
Thank
You know what I'm
you.
saying?
gotta support them and protect them.
Yeah,
That's right.
You're a woman,
Absolutely.
Gotta protect.
trailblazer. You know what I'm saying?
Trailblazing.
You know,
Aficionado.
I didn't know anything about cigars at all.